Welcome to the third episode of the Mahalima Mana. I am Theda Pilar Pineda, and as an 18, I realized that it's not enough to admire SB19 from a distance, but to point out and accentuate their special qualities which make them alluring to many people. Therefore, after reviewing several multimedia contents and interviewing an expert, I have materials to support the topic in focus. Today we're going to talk about creativity. Creativity is something that our Mahalima possess, and it will keep them significant in the music industry, not only in the Philippines but worldwide for many years to come.
Creativity is simply defined as the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. However, because it deals with imagination, creativity is limitless and it can be found in every discipline known to man, such as business, engineering, sciences, technology, humanities, mathematics, literary. The list goes on and on.
To further demonstrate what each member of SB19 is capable of, let's ask questions and allow video clips to answer why they are now considered the P-pop kings of the Philippines.
What is P-pop? Are there other groups besides you?
Well, to be honest, Filipino pop or the term P-pop is just a term for the Filipino music to be distinguished within the global scene. But besides the language that we use, I think pop in general is very universal. So the same elements and everything. And I think what we bring to the table is the journey or the experience of the Filipinos, us, all Filipino members. So basically that's what makes P-pop or Filipino music. When we started, we're the only one. And then right now, I think there are 10 more groups right now in the Philippines doing this kind of genre.
What are your roles in your group?
So everything is a collective effort. Our main choreographer is Stell, our
Creative director.
Conceptualizing.
I make the music and produce the music with them, and other also help in creating the choreographies. Everything is made by us.
What is the process in creating a song, the genre choice, and the message you want to share?
Well, basically what I do is that I ask the members, say what they want to release. Besides that, I ask what genre they want to try. And from that, I try to build up. For example, since we're on tour, everybody's missing their families and their parents and their loved ones. I made a song called Mapa, which directly translates to map in English. It's called Mapa because Mama and Papa together. So it's like a song to, give tribute or give thanks to all the people who guided us. We also made a song for all the haters who have been hating on us, but in a positive way. We took it in a positive way. I think when I try to make a song, I just try to say or write whatever's in my mind. Sometimes I write poetry. I always think of writing music. Sometimes when I wake up and I hear a siren, it's like music already, and I think of a melody that I would make to put that certain siren into a music.
What do each of you look for each time there's a new song in reference to your roles?
I'm always asking Pablo about the message, like the image he imagined when writing the song. What do you want to convey so that
Because
I can
he's the creative director
conceptualize and create something out of it?
For
The
me, I
message.
think the sound and the beat, the song. Well, of course, I do the choreography so that I can already make something.
And also, he always tells me he wants to be the ending of the song.
What do you mean?
He told me that I want to be the ending fairy. As much as possible, because each of us have different abilities, different strengths. So I try to make it as much as possible highlight their ability in that certain song. So for him, he's really good at rapping as well. For him, he has a very low voice. So I try to like complement everything together and create a very dynamic song.
How do you prepare before you go on stage to perform?
We do a huddle. We pray.
Do a
Like basically, we try to hype each other up. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't. Okay. A lot of
Not
people are
today.
watching us. We're trying to make a good impression, so do good today.
How do you reconcile your dreams with the struggles that you have to go through?
Why are we here right now? And when we try to look at other artists, like we're not the best, but since we're here right now, we just try our best to improve and like cater to the fans and just be thankful of what we have right now. Because when you love performing, this platform is really really great because we get to do what we love. We get to enjoy what we love and at the same time inspire people and motivate people. And I think when you're doing something that you really love, or it transcends to them, and when we do something, we always take pride in what we do because we made it this far and everyone's just trying to achieve their dreams. And we're just thankful to all the fans who have been believing in us. Before, 7 people all out, 2 people all out. Even when we performed before on a Chinese event audience, they're not even listening to us, but still all out. Because no matter how big or small the stage is, you should never regret what you're doing. So we just pour everything out.
To appreciate the creativity of our Mahalima is to hear what people say who are in the music industry. So let's welcome Mr. Lance Collins.
So it's so nice to meet you. So could you kindly introduce yourself, maybe where you grew up from and the kind of childhood that you have? If you
Sure. My name is Lance D. Collins. I'm an attorney in private practice on the island of Maui. I did live for a time in Honolulu and actually Kalihi specifically. But I moved back to Maui and I live full-time in Maui again and so forth. So I got my PhD in Philippine studies, but through the political science department.
Oh, why the interest in Philippine study? Any relations with the Filipinos? You don't look like you have any Filipino
I
blood.
see. Yeah, sorry. Well, my mother's a Filipina, and Filipino and Philam cultures have always been part of my life. And it just happened that the thing I wanted to write about and to do research on involved the Philippines and Philippine culture. So that's why I chose Philippine studies.
So when it comes to music, when did it start for you?
Music has always had a significant part in my life. As a small child, I remember my grandparents late in the evening listening to the radio. Also, my grandmother had a piano. My Lola had a piano, and she would play music. And I guess she knew how to play music by ear as well because she could read music, but she could also, she listened to a tune, she could play it on the piano.
Wow.
And so that sort of was somewhat encouraged in my own growing up, but not in a serious, disciplined way where I ended up learning how to be a master at the piano or something like that. So, and singing, of course, that's something that like at parties and so forth, everybody's involved with.
Why is it that no matter how beautiful our music is, it's always better when there's lyrics to it?
Many times that's the case. There are some songs that actually sound quite nice without lyrics, but yes, well, it depends. If you understand the lyrics, then great. If you don't understand the lyrics, then it's just another instrument among instruments. So, but yes, if you can understand the lyrics, then I think one of the things about songs that have lyrics is that there's sort of an emotional thing that people connect with that's not mental, that's not visual, and it acts in its own sort of way. And so, but by having words, it is something that connects with the mind. It's just not directly a mental thing. And so, most of the time, I think lyrics can be very soothing, or it can help sort of contain particular feelings or move them in a certain way. So that's why music is enjoyable. People eventually will sing along to it as long as it's not super complicated.
Why was it so important to be creative in music production, leading for you to produce albums blending Filipino and Hawaiian languages, culture, and music?
So maybe about 15 years ago, um, uh, my spouse, who is from Ilocos Norte originally, but also grew up in Maui, we started going to Ilocos very frequently, actually. And in that process, I became very close with a whole bunch of his nieces and nephews. I played for them some Hawaiian music, and of course, there's the whole Hawaiiano tradition, in experience in Ilocano life and stuff. But the experience of Hawaiian music is very specific and also very exotic in some ways. And so I was playing mostly Hapa Haole music from the 1930s and 40s, which I enjoy listening to. All of the songs I played, they all had these strong reactions to positive. And that kept in my mind. And then, of course, also at Wake in Ilocos, particularly for older folks who possibly had worked in Hawaii, but even those that hadn't, I heard multiple times the Spanish band play Aloha Oi without lyrics, just the song. Anyway, so all of those things were sort of in my mind, and the kids eventually grew up and that sort of stuff. And I was working on these albums, these Hawaiian music albums, and I just thought, hey, we have all these people, all of this talent, all of this stuff. It would be great to do a Hawaiian Philippine sort of mix and just see what does it sound like to have Philippine songs done in Hawaiian, and what does it sound like to have Hawaiian songs in Philippine languages.
I can sense through the work that you did that there's a lot of respect to the culture. Funny how you mentioned about that back then when there's a good song that goes around, people translate it. Even when I was in the Philippines, there's this folk singer that popularized the song Anak. I don't know if you've heard of that song.
Yep,
and it
of
kind of
course.
went around and it was translated. So back to this time, SB19, my favorite group, I have to bring that up. They came up with a song called Mapa.
That's the
Have you
song,
heard?
actually, the only song I knew of theirs before you emailed me. That's the only one I knew. It's the only one I knew. So yes,
And
I
it's
totally
going
know that song.
around. Yes,
Yeah.
it's going around now, being translated in different languages. So with regard to SB19, what do you think are their special qualities and why they are succeeding in sharing Filipino language and culture through music into the world?
So yeah, as I mentioned, I knew very little about SB19. I mean, I had seen the name, and I guess I've actually seen them perform on a video once before, but I didn't make the connection, or it didn't click in my head. But Mappa, I definitely have heard many, many times. It's on many playlists. When I'm working, I do listen to OPM playlists. And so sometimes I have no idea who the singer is or what the name of the song is unless I go through and try to figure out, like, what was the song I just listened to. Now that I know much more about SB19, I think it's one of these things where the phenomenon of the boy band is a phenomenon. I mean, the Beatles were the ones that invented it, right? But that being said, there was sort of like a 20-year break before it kind of resurrected in like what was it, like New Kids on the Block, and then
Backstreet
eventually, yeah,
Boys.
Backstreet Boys. That's right. And so but what's happened is it's basically left the American mediascape, and it's now, I mean, the Korean thing really's got something going on. Although I do think the Koreans actually developed theirs by looking at stuff that the Japanese were doing. It just happened that the Japanese boy band thing never really exploded outside of Japan, other than possibly interactions in Korea and possibly in China and a little bit in the Philippines. But Korea has basically shown that it's not a American thing, it's not a white thing. It's about really good looking boys who can dance and sing. And who doesn't enjoy looking at good looking boys who can dance and sing? And so, and it's like it's not just being able to sing and just being able to dance. Like, it has to work together as a group, and there has to be a certain kind of stage presence and chemistry with the team in order for people to like it. And SB19 has, I think, mastered that. And so one of the benefits to being able to master that performance art in the way that boy bands work internationally is that they have the ability to carry with them whatever message they want to. And with SB19, one of the nice things is that they can perform in Tagalog. And if in the US, the Filipinos being the largest Asian immigrant group, they actually don't, there doesn't have to be any real work of translation or just listening to their voice as another instrument. They actually can perform and have people who understand. And so that actually gives them a little bit of a boost in a way that I think it's less likely for like a Korean boy band, and definitely not for a Japanese boy band coming to the US. So
Funny that you mentioned that, because just I think the other day, the Asia Arts Awards, which is actually a South Korean promotion of their K-pop. Let's just put it that way. They bring these awards every year to different countries. This year, yesterday, they had it in the Philippines. And of course, who had to open the show was SB19. And if you look at the internet right now, they just blew everything away. So if SB19 have a chance to talk to you as a producer and the things that you do, and if they ask for your advice, what would it be? And what would your wish for them to do?
No, I'm glad you asked me that, because actually at this moment I'm working on a project with a young singer in Ilocos who I hope will be taking a really well-loved Latvian folk song, nationalist folk song, anti-colonial folk song, and turning it into an Ilocano drinking song, but with a slightly different sound, because when they sing it in Latvia, it sounds like choir and kind of a little bit churchy. But I'm working on that. And so, yeah, if they had the opportunity to connect with me, I would totally say, like, let's find some folk songs from different parts of the world, possibly places where you already have fans, and let's try to see where we can basically take something that's local to there and make it into something that resonates with the Philippine heart or the Filipino soul. That would be my suggestion, Tim, and not to explore and try to basically make a emotional connection with the place where they have fans or where they have some kind of interest, and bring that into their music. That would be my recommendation. But nobody's asked me that, but if they did, that's what I would tell them.
But you do have something there, although they're just kind of starting yet at this point. In a way, they need to promote the Filipino music to the world, but you have something there, because once you do that, you endear yourself to the community, to the culture of those different places. And I'm sure maybe one of these days, when they really get so globally known, they can easily do that.
Yeah, I'll find the name of that Bahasa Indonesia song, and I'll send it to you, and you can send it to their manager. Tell them, sing this.
I wish I have a connection. Although I do have an email.
As soon as we're done, I'll remember what the name of that song is. But that would be, because they've done it in Chinese, Japanese. They don't have to perform in Indonesian. They can perform it in Japanese or Chinese and hit 2 countries for the price of 1.
Well, actually, they did mention this SB19, that back then when they were just starting, they had to learn different languages or different songs of different languages, in a way that was part of their training. They would be hired to sing to like a party of all Chinese old folks and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they would say they would be memorizing 9 songs, for example, within that week, and then to perform, and they're so scared that they might mispronounce things. But then they said the old folks are not even listening, they're just there. But they had to do their best, and I guess
they're listening. They're listening. But that's one of the beautiful things, right? When you're singing those kinds of things to old folks, it's basically going in. I mean, they may not be consciously focusing on the performance, but it's totally present in the background and creates comfort and all of that sort of thing. So but it's amazing. Yeah, learning 9 songs in a language you don't understand or speak and being able to do it in a week. I mean, that's just like, it's superhuman. So it just goes to show you the kind of talent that SB19 has.
Oh, yeah. So since you're doing this translation kind of thing, would you be open to later on maybe do some, I know you haven't really looked into their songs except that you said Mapa, but they do have.
Oh no, I did. I did. I listened to like 3 hours of their music. So since we emailed, I have listened to that. So I have a little bit of familiarity, but I really know Mappa because I've listened to it since it came out apparently on many, many playlists over the last couple of years. So
Would you would you at least have that in your mind that someday you'd I would really love to hear that in Hawaiian language.
Oh.
If you ever do that, even one or two of their songs, that would really sell Hawaii to the people of the Philippines.
Yeah, if the opportunity arises, I'd love to be involved. Absolutely.
Preparing for a music video or concert takes a toll on SB19 because they always aim to come up with the best output. And with all the rigors of their career, something keeps them sane and enthusiastic still. And these are their brotherhood and their sense of humor. This sense of humor is evident each time they hang out and in their show breaks wherein they play games and allow themselves to be silly. But even those show breaks are still well designed and organized, still applying creativity.
Mine has signature dot. Mine is circular. Mine is non-stop.
Ako. Mine is not home but away.
Mine is can do a lot but not too much. Mine is like a cake, sweet.
Mine is silent like me.
Mine is one call away. Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic. Ayan.
Mine is super charismatic. Sige. Mine is bouncy. Bouncy like a ball.
Mali ang ulan ko. Cellphone. Face.
I know.
Kala mo na face eh.
And the answer is Mom.
Mom!
Dad? Oh, bakit hindi na namin?
Ito ka, circular.
Bakit sabi mo ako? Nanay ko may nanal dito. My mom is bouncy. My mom bouncy? Bakit nalakad yung nanay ko ganun?
SB19 is succeeding as artists. It is important that they remember their goals in life so that the wiles that come with the industry will not devour them.
Because there's no words that can describe their efforts they always give to us. That's why we're so thankful every time we see them. It's just heartwarming.
We always try to show our genuine, true selves in front of them, and wherever we go, whatever we release, we always try to incorporate the Filipino heritage or the Filipino culture in order to, promote Filipino music and put P-pop into the global map.
But for now, we are focused on our careers first, SB19 first.
As a group.
Yeah, as a group. But maybe in the future, we can, develop a lot of things through our company and through ourselves with the help of our team behind us.
Here are two young men who have made it in the music and dance industry in the US and Canada, only to realize that success should not involve losing yourself.
People as I looked out from that stage. It was the most electrifying and humbling experience in New Zealand of all places, singing along to one of her songs. It was unreal. An international trip to New Zealand, 24/7 security presence, TV and radio interviews, sold out shows, a complete stage crew that dismantled and set up all of our equipment, and paid accommodations. And I mean paid everything. I thought at that moment I had done what I only dreamed of.
I became a co-director for one of the community's top competitive dance teams. It was the peak of my dance career, but the pressures I faced didn't stop there. Our team accomplished a lot. We won competitions, performed at live events. I also had the opportunity to travel to different cities and regions across North America, learn from talented individuals, people who choreographed for famous artists. But being in the entertainment industry comes with a lot of baggage. It has its own culture, its own little world. While I spent a lot of time in the dance community, it was a toxic environment, filled with people who put a life of vices and dark experiences in the limelight.
Growing up in Hawaii, you come across a lot of music, right? From hip-hop, emo rock, R&B, acoustic, Hawaiian, roots reggae, island reggae. I listened to it all. So you can just imagine what it must have felt like when all of a sudden our lead singer decided he wanted to take a break from music. After that phone call, I thought to myself, now what? I had put all my eggs, or rather coconuts, into this one basket. I had stopped going to school. I distanced myself from some of my close friends. But what scared me the most was how far from God I felt.
I had started to reevaluate my life, reflecting on everything that I was doing. I called it quits. I left the dance scene and I felt a huge burden was lifted off my shoulders, and I finally felt at peace.
I knew there was only one thing for me to do: work on my relationship with God. The first step I took was to be more prayerful. I prayed for acceptance, for forgiveness and guidance. I started showing up to more church activities, and after meditating one day in the worship service, I realized that God was with me the entire time, guiding me, protecting me, and bringing me back to Him.
Shortly after, dance opportunities came down the pipeline. I was asked to lead multiple dance-related programs and activities in the church, from musical productions to dance workshops and even music videos. It was also much more fulfilling than what I had done in the past. It's a different kind of reward, knowing that what you're doing is more than just for yourself, that what we were doing was for the good of others, that ultimately, it was for God.
Even though I missed performing on a stage in front of a crowd at times, I felt more whole as I performed in front of a different crowd, God's crowd, in a sense. Fast forward to just last year, I went back to school. I got an AA in Administration of Justice, something totally left field from my musical background, but I was able to receive honors. And now I'm pursuing a new career in law enforcement.
My aim, whether it's in dance or any other hobby or interest, such as sports or arts, is to create an environment where we can thrive through Christian culture. We can live a fulfilling and adventurous life without succumbing to worldly things around us, as long as we stay focused on Christian culture.
So while careers change and dreams evolve, my identity today and forever will be as a child of God.
May the love of their family and friends and the fact that their 18 are looking up to them will serve as inspiration as well as guardrails in their steep and narrow road to success.
The home of biotech, the home of SB19. So it's SB19 Day in the county of San Mateo.
Thank you so much,
Masasabi ko para sa 5 is yung magic nyo. Kayo lang ang meron yan. Ang daming buhay na binago nyo. Napasaya yung 5. So, very magical yun. And congratulations talaga. At sana matupad pa kung ano pa yung mga wishes nyo. Yun lang ang wish ko, ay matupad yung wish nyo.
Boys, we are so proud of you for coming this far. Congratulations for reaching your 5 years anniversary. And tuloy-tuloy lang mga anak. And hopefully, makaabot pa kayo ng another 5 years more. Ayan. So, kita-kita tayo ulit. And congratulations dito sa exhibit. Oh, di ba? Parang kailan lang. O bang umiikot ako kanina, napaiyak ako. Wala lang. Basta napaiyak lang ako. Sobrang naramdaman ko yung journey nyo. Sabi ko, hindi na ako iyak. Tumigil ka dyan, ha? Keep stronger, boys. Kasi alam naman natin, pag ang puno hitik-hitik sa bunga, talagang may pupukol at pupukol. And keep the brotherhood stronger. Fighting. Hello mga gentlemen. Congratulations sa inyong half a decade. And nakita namin yung journey nyo from the start up to now. And talagang masasabi ko na hindi kayo iniwanan ng ating Panginoon. Talagang yung favor and yung biyaya ng Panginoon ay nasa inyo. Kaya alam ko na mararating at makakamit nyo ang inyong goal na mag-world domination at makilala ang OPM internationally. So, good luck and congratulations again. And parati tayong maging humble, and I know na lalo kayong pagpapalain ng ating Panginoon. Congratulations! I love you!
Yes, our Mahalima makes us sing, dance, and even scream at times. And in today's episode, we learn from them the value of creativity. The creativity that placed them in the world of songs map, with songs that mark the hearts and minds of dancers and boppers, singers and vocalists, and overall communicators of words set in melody and tune, because that's the mana of our Mahalima. This is Tita 18, Theta Pilar Pineda, from downtown Honolulu, Hawaii. Aloha!
Hello everyone, we're SB19. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for giving us the strength to get through everything. And of course, giving us 18. You guys are the best. We love you all so much.
This is our first time to be part of Asian Artist Awards. But this is such a big milestone for, not just for SB19, but for every Filipinos out there. We can say that we made it and we'll keep on achieving our dreams. And thank you so much, especially to 18 and all of the people who have been supporting us from the very beginning.
18, this one's for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We love you.
Hello everyone, we are SB19. Even though it's our first time attending an international award event, we have 2 awards and we were able to perform earlier. So we're very thankful to everyone, especially to AAA for having this, an opportunity for everyone to show their talents.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Noon po, pangarap lang po namin ang makapag-release ng kanta, pero ngayon nasa harap niyo na po kami at tumatanggap ng award. Napakalaking bagay po ito para sa amin at syempre para po sa buong community ng Filipino music. And of course po sa aming pinakamamahal na 18, maraming salamat sa walang sawang suporta, sa pagmamahal, sa pagtsatsaga at sa pag-aantay sa amin. Inuulit po namin itong award na to hindi lang para sa amin, para sa ating lahat to. And of course, we are very happy and we are very honored to represent and to showcase the Filipino music all around the world. Muli kami po ang SB19. Maraming salamat po.